Yeah, I know. I gotta go. I have to tell these people something. Okay, bye. Talk to you later. Bye. Hi, I'm Madison Lohr, a graphic design major here at IWU, showing my exhibition in the Williams Gallery, which you are currently standing in. My exhibition titled Disregarded, Desolation is focused on the very hush-hush and underground topic of the discarding practice of both the clothing industry, and then we also are going to take a look at its many negative effects on the environment, specifically speaking of the zones in the area surrounding manufacturing and production factories. So quite recently, I'd say within the past few years, this topic of conversation has surfaced more and more, gaining a lot of publicity both internationally and in the States here, which has been really great, but it still remains to be a very hush-hush, and a lot of the information is in the shadows, kind of just due to the negative nature of the issue, which is really sad, but kind of the reality of the topic. So with that, there are a lot of unknowns when it comes to wanting answers from both clothing businesses and manufacturing producers themselves. However, the information that is at our current disposal is definitely a start and a pinpoint of somewhere that we can build off of, and it holds a lot of substantial power for just education, enlightenment, and also potential change for our current, present time, and then also going into the future. So as a world that's constantly consuming, we're always producing gigantic amounts of waste, and we're constantly releasing ungodly amounts of toxins into the environment, which most of which goes unseen from the majority of the world's population and also the human eye. And because of this, waste is always going to be present in our day-to-day lives, just with the amount that we consume and constantly produce. However, this is kind of formed into a question of ethics and also a question of how are we going to eliminate unnecessary waste and toxins along the way of such production. So through my exhibition, I've proposed a lot of questioning on clothing and textile waste, and I'm really hoping for you guys to walk away with a better understanding of just what manufacturing waste is, where it comes from, and also the possible ways of utilizing that waste and how it might be possible to transform it. So since this issue is so underground, I believe that the first step towards change is knowledge and education. So if this is a topic of interest to you, or you just kind of want to learn a little bit more about it, I highly recommend visiting disregardeddesolation.com for a deeper dive into the topic. This website I created for you guys, it has a lot more resources that you can just use for your learning pleasure and kind of enlighten yourself more on the topic. So just a couple things before viewing my exhibition that I want you guys to keep in mind are that everything on display has been created from others' waste. All the pieces I've either previously owned, thrifted from secondhand stores, or have made from scratch. So for example, the clothing was all handmade from thrifted sheets and curtains. The greenery and flowers were actually from my brother's wedding a couple years ago. The frames were also thrifted. And then I sanded them and stained them myself. Shout out to my dad for the sanding portion. And then the paper that makes up the clothing tags was handmade from jeans. Shout out to Jenna and Yabi for teaching me how to make paper. You guys rock. And I really hope you guys just enjoy this exhibit and are able to walk away with having a new perspective on kind of the clothing industry and the footprint that they've left on the environment, and just kind of finding out the unnoticed potential of discarded waste and what you can do with it. So if you have any questions or would like any further information on the topic, don't be afraid to reach out. All my contact information is on disregardeddesolation.com. I hope you guys enjoy.